Born on February 24, 1955 in California, Steve Jobs' life was full of struggle from birth. His mother was an unmarried college student, and that's why she did not want to keep him, and decided to adopt Steve Jobs in a good family. But those who were adopters refused, saying that they wanted to adopt the girl. Then Steve Jobs was adopted by Paul and Clara Jobs living in California. Both Paul and Clara were not highly educated and belonged to the middle class. When Steve Jobs was 5 years old, his family moved to Mountain View, near California. Paul was a mechanic, and Steve knew electronics, and Clara was an accountant, so she helped Steve with his studies. Steve attended Montalona School and completed his primary education there. After that she completed her higher education from Cupertino Junior High School. And in 1972, for his college studies, he enrolled in Reed Call, Oregon, which was the most expensive college there. Steve was very good at studies, but his parents could not pay the full fee, so Steve raised money by selling a bottle of Coke to pay the fee, and due to lack of money, he went to the temples and got free food there. He used to eat, and to save the rent of his hostel, he used to sleep on the ground in the rooms of his friends. Despite saving so much, he could not raise enough money for fees, and seeing his parents working hard, he left college and thought of helping them. But his parents did not agree with him. So instead of not going to college at the behest of his parents, he accepted to go to creative classes. Soon Steve started growing interested in her. Along with going to classes, he started working as a technician in a company named Atari. Steve believed a lot in spiritual life, so Steve came to India to meet his religious teacher, and spent a lot of time in India. During his stay in India, he completely embraced Buddhism and started dressing like a Buddhist monk, and became completely spiritual, and went back to California from India. Beginning of Apple Company in 1976, at the age of just 20, he started the Apple Company. Steve, along with his schoolmate Wozniak, developed the operating system Macintosh in his father's garage, and wanted to build Apple Computer to sell it. But the problem was coming due to paucity of money. But his problem was solved by a friend of his, Mike Mercula, and he also became a partner in the company. And Steve started making Apple computers. He also enlisted John Scully, the chief officer of Pepsi, the Coca-Cola company, to work with him. Due to the hard work of Steve and his friends, within a few years, the Apple Company had grown from a garage to a company of $2 billion and 4,000 employees. Resignation from Apple Company: but this achievement of his did not last long. Due to the dislike of him by his partners and quarrel among themselves, the popularity of Apple Company started decreasing. Gradually the company got completely into debt. And in the meeting of the board of directors, Steve was thrown out of the Apple Company in 1985 by blaming all the blame. This was the saddest moment of his life, because he was fired from the company he had built with hard work and dedication. The company was completely in debt as soon as Steve left. 5 years after resigning from Apple, he started two companies named Nextink and Pixar. The technology used in Nextink was perfect, and their aim was to make the best software, and animation work was done in Pixar Company. After working for a year, money problems started coming, and partnered with Ross Perot, and Perot invested his money. In the year 1990, Nextink launched the first computer in the market, but could not run in the market due to being very expensive. Then Nextink made the interpersonal computer, which became very popular. And Pixar made the animated film Toy Story, which is the best movie ever made. Returned to Apple Company: in 1996, Apple bought Steve's Pixar, thus his return to Apple. At the same time he became the chief executive officer of Apple. In 1997, due to his hard work, the company's profits increased and he became the CEO of Apple. In 1998, he launched the iMac in the market, which became very popular. And Apple achieved a huge success. After that, iPad, iPhone, iTunes were also launched. In 2011, the CEO resigned from the post and became the chairman of the board. At that time his wealth had grown to $7.0 billion. and Apple had become the second largest company in the world. Steve had a cancer disease named pancreative since 2003. But still he used to go to the company every day so that he could provide the best technology to the people, and due to cancer disease on 5th October. He died in 2011 in Palo Alto, California.